Okay, so we got a whole bunch of these U-bends, J-bends they're called, in 2-inch. Got 2 new collectors, so they're race collectors. They actually sit like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the other one off and put this one back in. So we're gonna cut this collector off, put it back in, see where it sits height-wise, and then we'll add a couple of tubes to it, probably 2 or 3 inches on each one, so they're straight, and then put the other slip-on collector on it. And then we'll know where this sits height-wise and everything, and then we'll make the other one match the height and the length. All right, got the other one cut off. Got that header in place. We know how high it's got to be. So basically the bottom tubes are just at the edge of the transmission pan. And then the length is probably going to be about that long. So it's going to get about 3 inches attached to each one of those tubes, give or take. Enough to slide into that and get attached to that and keep them flat and even so that they're all same. And then the other side could be that long also. So what we're gonna do is, now I can get it out of here. I'm probably gonna put it up on the other lift so I can stand up and get all my measurements. Set up the table with the bandsaw. Get the little blocks out so we can figure this out a lot quicker. All right. All right, one more thing over here. So the oil pan is hitting the frame. So we're gonna nip that off and then reseal it so it looks kind of like this side. All right. All right, so that's what happens when a simple job turns to crap. So we had to take the oil pan off. We had to change that tube right there. Again, the engine was not in the right spot. So make a long story short, we got the tranny out. I welded that corner on there, which probably wouldn't even have needed it if we raised the motor up. So now we raised the engine up. We're gonna put the oil pan back in, and then we got to beat the floor on that side and on this side to clear the transmission's linkage and lines. So we were able to get the oil pan out by sneaking it out by dropping it down and unhooking the pickup. So we're leaving the pickup in it. We're gonna put the pickup and the oil pan back in there, sneak it back in, and then put the pickup back on. All right, so we're gonna do that first, and then we'll show you what we're doing next. All right, so got this thing back together. And this is what I was trying to show you before. So this bracket was on upside down, so it was sticking down like that far. The tail shaft was way down here like this, even with the bottom of the floor. So that didn't work. So this is good. I'm just waiting on this. I gotta get the right clearance for that. That wouldn't have probably hit at all. And that's it. Got the oil pan back on, oil pump. Well, I guess that oil pump bolt being loose would have been an issue, so you know what? Might have been a blessing in disguise fixing that. All right, so now we got enough room here for the fittings. We got a lot of room there now for the shifter, and the tranny's not hitting nothing. We're good to go. All right. So he's in there. He's in there cutting the flanges down so that they're nice and clean like I did this side the other day. We got that tube all cut up. We're gonna fit that in here. The engine sits nice and level. We got everything back together. Oil pan's back on, tranny's back on. Now we can start doing what we're supposed to be doing here. All right, so the rack's back in place. I had to move this one tube again a little bit, so we just redid that a little to make sure that cleared everything. Now that the engine's sitting back up where it was sitting way down like that. And now it's back up to where it's sitting in the car. It was actually, it looked like it was pointing up in the air. So now that we got it up on the lift, we measured everything. Everything went back together. Everything's good with that. And once he's done cutting those flanges, we're going to clean the edges up, stick them all back in here, and start making the extensions on this one. And I'm going to keep working on this side. I'm going to put something across the bottom of the car and set the two collectors up so they sit in the same spot, in the same place. I'll show you all that. All right. All right, so we got our ICE engine works kit, 3-inch radius. That's what these are. All right. 3-inch centerline radius. So, got the table all set up. We'll have all this going here. Gonna cut some pieces up. If you guys watched a couple other videos, I guess, these little blocks get put together. You got angled ones, right? So this is, if you look real close, let's see. All right, 2-inch outside diameter, 3-inch radius. So there's all different curves to them, right? Put the ones you want together. They snap together. You can turn them any which way you want. Bring them over to here, transfer it over. Right, so let's say that it needs to be like that. You would bring this center line over to there. Right, and you would make that slice. And it'll keep it perfectly square. Okay? So, let's see, get the light on in here. I'll put some light on this thing and get going on this side here. All right, so Josh got all these nice and cleaned up. Now they look like normal header flanges, right? Like that. Like that. So now I'm gonna put this side back together, set this side up like this side is, and then start working our way down. All right, so let me get this side back together first, and then I'm going to show you how I use these. All right, so I got this other side tube in, and this is why you got to check everything 15 times, because now that's still hitting there. Can't get the starter in because, let me see if you can see that. So that tube is hitting the bell housing and the starter, top of the starter. And up there by the transmission right there. So we're gonna have to fix that also. All right. All right, so with the starter out of the way, you can see what I'm talking about now. There and there. All right, so we gotta clear that. And then clear this little corner off the starter. So take the tubes back out, cut that down some more, and keep moving. All right, one more time with these things in and out, right? How many times are we gonna go in and out? Who knows? All right, so now, I got these two where I need them. I got enough clearance for that one. That one, I'm gonna take out. So it's hard to see this from here because of the light, but so this is number 1. That's the one that's hitting that. So I'm going to take that one out and reroute it. I'm going to take this one and get it a little bit closer to here this way, and put this one down here and make it come to here, and that one make it come to here. So these will be the two bottom. It'll have 2 on the top, and the collector will sit back here, and then we'll join everything together. All right, this way the collector sits, I'll show you, sits up nice, tucked up pretty nice to to the frame rail. All right, so this number 1 tube is the one that's touching the starter up there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it back in here and then start bringing it closer to this tube because I got plenty of room here. It's next to that tube, but that's staying, right? So it's gonna go like that, right there. And then it'll start bending around like this and then go back down. This one went down and above it. I'm gonna bring it down and go down through this big ass opening here and then come around and then follow that down. All right, so I'm just showing you the process of how I'm doing it. It changes as you go. Like I said, one-off deals. You gotta make everything work. That's what it's like when you're building something from scratch. Okay? If you watch videos, I'm showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of videos you watch, the guy, oh yeah, the headers go right on. Horse crap, okay? Because I could guarantee you 99 out of 100 times, nothing is bolt on. Basically nothing, okay? Especially when it comes to stuff like this. So, keep watching. We're going to keep working on it. Hope you're enjoying what we're doing with this. And then I got some comments about when we're working on it. The videos come out a little bit later than this. Is probably 3 days or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days already into this from the first video that you watched. So, it takes time. Hope you're liking the intro. Let me know if you like that new intro. We got a little clip. All right. So like I said, check everything all the time, right? So got the starter in. Now the bolts go in. But you can see what I'm talking about. If I took that, how much material could you possibly take off of that up there? You know, up in that spot. That's why you got to move the tube. All right, so at least now the starter's accessible, and you could do that with the headers in place, no problem. All right, so this is number 2 tube going back. Cut it off, fit it. It's gonna have a little angle to it. Cut another piece off it, all right, to make it a little bit shorter. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's in there. So now what it's gonna do is it's gonna come off of here, go down, and then come around that other tube and go behind all that, between the frame rail. It's amazing. This side has probably 1.5 inches here. The other side had nothing at all. We were over, but we're good now. All right, so right off the bat, we got 1 snapped blade, so I gotta go pick up 2 new blades. But that's how it's gonna start. All right, so cut. You gotta deburr the inside, deburr the outside, then you gotta clean it. It's gotta be clean all the way around. Now we're gonna put that back on. We already know that this is gonna fit, so I'm gonna show you how we get this exact thing. All right. Okay, ready? So, put the stub back on. When you're doing this, they're all tight. Okay, that's on tight. I had to put a tap. I just ran a tap through that one, all the crap that was in that one. And then you're gonna take your little blocks, and we know it's gonna fit like that. Okay, so the block is the same. So we're going to turn it like that, and it'll clear all that. All right? Now that's going to clear that. It's going to come down. So now we're going to cut that out of one of these, out of something. So we're going to see if we have one of these first. All right? And that's basically what's going to happen with that. So there's no guesswork. Well, there's somewhat of a guesswork, but there's no guesswork. So that's going to get cut like that. We're going to mark that. You put it on here. That's my 90 degree if you want something straight. All right, so I made all this up, this table. If you watch this in a different video. So this goes like this. Right? This lines up with the center. So this lines up with this. That's the center mark. Right? This lines up with that. You can see this is the center mark right here. That's going to go against that. Now you know this is the radius, right? Like that. Now once you put this up against this, you could turn this and line up your mark with the blade. Right? So I know that's going to be flat with that. Okay? That's going to be flat with that. I lock this in. You're going to cut that angle first. Turn it around. You're going to cut the other one. Same way. Okay? Same angle. And you'll have this piece made up. Alright, so we knew that fit. We're just going to cut it the same way. Left a little pigtail on it, or whatever you want to call it. Right? Instead of just cutting it right there and then having to weld another piece on, we're going to use as much as straight as we could. So now that will fit like... That will go just like so. Okay? And then the next piece will go from here down there like that. So now we can tack this piece in. We know this piece is good. Same thing. Got to clean this all up and then go to the next spot. All right, so the next section needs to look like that. So this one by my thumb has to be cut first, and then this other piece has to be cut. So as long as they're on the same angle, they could be cut. That one's the only one that's not right now, so I need to cut that first. One little spot, and then the rest of it. All right, so that's how it starts to come around. You can see how it's got a nice fit. I'm gonna start tacking them up. So we tack them with the MIG welder, and then he smooths everything out with the TIG. All right. Now he's doing that one. I'm going to start putting the next one in and moving it to the outside. I mean to the inside of there. All right. Next two pieces. That one's going to stick out here. This one's coming down and around. And it looks like this. So you put this in here, line it up with the blade. You turn this to make it line up with the blade, put this on, and this will line up with it. Cut it, it'll end up like this. And then the other end points the other way, so we'll end up cutting a piece like that. Put it on the end of that, and it should fit in there. Ready? Alright, so that's that. Alright, and then this piece that we cut off will probably end up working on this end. And we'll check that. Alright, that piece will probably work there. Good. Now I need that. So
Try that. Yeah. Find something that's kind of close.
Like that. Okay. And like that. And then
So then once it fits,
once it
line
fits,
it up
it's done.
straight. And when you put your other piece in there,
I need that little, it's going to be right there. And that one's going to be right there. Like that. Oop. So like that.
okay?
Yep. Well, which one of these are straighter? Just like that. Lay it down flat. And there you go. Right? Just like that.
Okay. Yep.
Nice. Now, alright, Josh got another one welded up. These are all looking good. They're starting to come together. So once I get, that's got to cool down, I'll put that one back in. And then this goes in here. And that'll be top like that, number one, in position to that one that we're going to put back in, which is going to be this one on this side. That'll bring the collector out to about here. I'll be able to make the next little curve here, bring that in, and then the two bottom ones just come straight in. And that'll be one side. Then we gotta do the other side. Okay?
We got a couple more pieces already made up.
I got like 2 of them made up for that one already. So, takes time. You can't just slap headers together. So, alright, check it out.